All right, today I'm out here trying out the 2024 Polaris Indy Adventure 137. This has got the S4 Pro Star engine in it. So that's why I'm really wanting to try this out. I tried out the 650 Patriot, the 850 Patriot. I really wanted to try out Polaris 4-stroke. I know this isn't gonna be a powerhouse. This is a 90 horsepower sled, but I got a Skidoo Renegade 900 Ace at home. So it'd be good to compare power-wise with it. That's a 3-cylinder. This is a twin cylinder. Let's go ahead and fire it up. You can listen to it. Definitely sounds a little different. We got the 7S display on this one, which is nice. Get the maps, GPS maps, which is nice. So on this, you have sport mode, standard mode, and eco mode. We'll have to try that out. The heated grips, you can change the exact temperature you want. Whoops. And which is really nice. And then you got high, low, and medium basically for that. But yeah, anyways, let's take this thing for a ride. All right, looks like we're back in business. So unfortunately, when I was testing that sled out yesterday, I lost a bunch of footage, so I lost some audio too, so that kind of sucks. But I'll give you my first initial thoughts. It's on my first hop on and ride, not this footage right here, the footage I lost. I went to get on the throttle. I was like, okay, this has got okay power for a 4-stroke, but I was like, see, it does seem down on power versus my 900 Ace, which I kind of thought it might have been anyways because it's a 3-cylinder versus a twin. But anyways, I got to looking and I was looking and oh, it's on eco mode. Okay, so I go ahead, throw it in sport mode, completely different machine. Tons of bottom end, good mid-range, like up to 40-50 miles an hour. That thing is just, it's got really good power. Different kind of power versus this 900 Ace. This 900 Ace is, you know, it's a 3-cylinder, so it's got more mid-range, where that twin-cylinder ProStar S4 has way more bottom end, and it's just tractor-like power. That's the only thing I could think of, is just like tractor-type torque. It's got great power on the low end. Now, when I first started driving that thing, it was typical Polaris, you know, nice light steering up front, I thought, you know, compared to this old heavy thing. Anyways, this is a 2015 Skidoo Renegade 137 with the 900 Ace in it. Just driving that Polaris Indy Adventure, a lot lighter steering than this. It didn't feel heavy at all. This, you know, there's weight. Even though the 900 is not that heavy, in this style sled, it feels heavy. Versus the 2-stroke counterpart anyways. Go ahead and take a look inside here. Pull off this top shield. These things are so easy to take apart. All right, and there's the power plant. That is the 999 ProStar S4 engine. As you can see, nice and clean in there. They got it packaged away nicely. The no big expansion chamber because it's not a 2-stroke, 4-stroke. This is a wet sump engine, so most of your oil is stored right here in this container. Primary, secondary, coolant reservoir. Looks like it's a little over full. Now, this thing does have one massive muffler right here. That thing is huge. No wonder she's so quiet. This one's got the 137 non-studded track in it. All right, let's see what she's got. That was full bore right there. Of course, wasn't hard packed or anything. It was a little soft stuff, but on hard pack, this thing's got great power. When you get onto stuff like that, you definitely feel the lack of power, but still not bad. But yeah, so we'll continue on into the trail here. Trails are actually pretty decent. These weren't groomed, but I did run into some nice groomed trails, and yeah, no, not bad at all.
for the horrible season we've had so far. Yeah, these are a little rough here, but the main corridor trails are in nice shape. But as far as this engine goes, it's a very good engine for the trail. I mean, I find myself wanting more power, of course, when you get her on some long straightaways, but it'll get up there to whatever you want to go, well, to a certain point. She's got good grunt. Yeah, I don't know. It's different. It's different than the 900 Ace for sure. Now this 137, I don't know what's going on with it. I didn't mess around with the adjustments because I only got it for so long, but she definitely wants to push. She wants to push. I really gotta lean, and then even then, it's surprisingly, it wants to roll. Doesn't want to take the corners as good as I'd like it to. Yeah, here's some rough trails. This thing is just insanely quiet. All the 4-strokes are, well, I don't know about all the 4-strokes, but the, what is it, 100 horsepower class or 90 horsepower class, whatever they want to consider it, they're just so quiet. This and the 900 Ace.
So what's my first 100-mile impression? I was actually surprised by that S4 motor. It goes better than I thought it would. It's got plenty of zip. Pretty surprised with it, especially in the hard pack trail. She had plenty of power. The only time I felt it needed more power, there was a couple uphill long pulls that were had really fluffy snow on it, and tell it was a 90 horsepower sled at that point. What I see so far with fuel mileage, I got about 16, 17 miles per gallon, and I've been getting onto this thing a little bit. I haven't been taking it too easy on it, so that's pretty good. I have no doubt that if you were just casually trail riding it, you'd get about 20 miles per gallon. But then again, if you start hammering on it, you're probably not going to get as good a fuel mileage. But anyways, I'm going to go put some more miles on this thing. Seems to take quite a while to start up. Every time it's like that. Doesn't matter if it's warm or cold. Not sure.
The reverse is right here, this lever. I just can't get over the low end sound of this. It's just doesn't sound like a snowmobile, but gonna have to get used to it. I'm wondering if Polaris is gonna throw a turbo on this thing. They already have the turbo on this motor. Well, similar motor, the 925 I think it is, the Polaris Razor turbo, based off the same engine, so you know they can throw a turbo on there. And by the looks at under the hood, there's room for a turbo. That would really wake this engine up. This engine's got all kinds of power down low. Mid-range ain't bad. And then, you know, like a normal, like a naturally aspirated engine, 4-stroke engine, it's gonna lose it on top. I am really I really want to try out the Arctic-Cat, the new Catalyst chassis. I haven't tried that out yet. I'm gonna, I don't know, they're a lot of money, but I'm pretty close to saying just heck with it and ordering the 858. That'll be a nice, I don't know. It's just something different, and it's got me on the hook. It really does. Darn cats. I haven't really owned many cats, not anything newer anyways. I owned a lot of the older stuff, but yeah, I mean, see, unless you let off the throttle, hit the brake, it doesn't want to take some of the sharp corners at speed. Even if I'm leaning way over here, it's just not, I don't know, just different. Just different. I like my old 129. That one went pretty good. That was a 600. Indy's XC 600.
Nearing the end of my ride on the new ProStar 4. Things I like about it is it's quiet at trail speeds, slow trail speeds, say like under 40 miles an hour. On the other hand, around 50, it's got a wicked drone to it. I mean, if you get above the windshield, it's not as bad, but it's definitely still there. Fuel mileage seems to be very good. 16, 17 miles per gallon is what I got. I was getting onto it because I wanted to see how this thing went. So if you were going at slow trail speeds, I have no doubt this thing would get 20 miles per gallon, which is very good. As far as power goes, I'm actually surprised because I thought the 900 Ace was gonna feel a lot faster, but it doesn't. This actually seemed right on par, if not a little more powerful than the 900 Ace. Now this is a 1000, so obviously that does have a little advantage over the 900 Ace. However, this is a twin cylinder, inline twin cylinder versus the inline 3-cylinder of the Ace, which the 3 cylinders usually put out a little more power, and obviously it is if they're making about the same horsepower. The electronic thumb throttle on this thing is so light, my thumb never got sore driving this thing. One good thing about this, you can run 87 octane in this. The sled right here is an Indy Adventure 137, like I said. There's 2 different power plants you can get with this sled, and that is the 650 Patriot, which is a 2-stroke, and then there's this ProStar 4, which is a 4-stroke. Now this ProStar 4 is a 90 to 100 horsepower engine. There's no real specs out on it. That's all I know is 90 to 100. 650 Patriot is pushing 130, possibly a little over, but this is actually the cheaper version, which I'm surprised the 4-stroke is. The 650 Patriot is $900 more than getting this Pro S4, so that's something to think about too. This can do everything that 650 can do, maybe not as quick. One thing that'll be different on that 650 Patriot versus this Pro S is your reverse is right here. You have forward neutral, and you actually have neutral, which I don't think I've seen neutral on a snowmobile before. Kind of neat, but yeah, so reverse, forward. On the 650 Patriot, it actually spins the crankshaft backwards, so you push that button and it'll turn the engine backwards. This, it doesn't do anything. They just use the same left-hand control on the 4-stroke as they do on the 2-stroke. Now that's actually kind of handy that you can throw this in neutral in case you had to tow this thing. That's a very nice feature. Saying before, at the beginning, I thought it had really light steering or didn't notice any difference from the 650 Patriot I drove. However, after a 177 mile day, you notice the weight for sure, especially in the end. I got towards the tight, twisty trails, and you really did feel the extra weight on that thing. The claimed dry weight on that Indy Adventure 137 with the Pro S4 is 602 pounds. If you go to the 650 Patriot, all the same machine, just different engine, it's 539 pounds. So that's a 63-pound difference, and it might not seem like a lot, but it's a lot on a snowmobile. It's 10% more heavier than the 2-stroke. Glad I get to try that out. Am I a buyer for this Pro S4? Probably not. I tend to like the 2-strokes a little better. Now, if I was buying a new sled, would I choose this or the 650? If I was buying the Indy Adventure, $900, quite a bit of money, and this is a pretty good engine that would probably outlast the Patriot. I don't know if it will for sure, but it kind of seems like it, being a 4-stroke anyways. One thing that's nice with this, you won't be burning any 2-stroke oil with it, so that's good. You just change your oil out once a year and you'll be good to go.